Today, well, not today. Well, actually today, yes. Today I wanted to go over the parts and pieces of the Hottop roaster. I figured I'd take a step back and actually go over what this thing is all about. You may know that I used to be a barista. I worked in specialty coffee for about 4 years. Prior to that, I worked in big retail coffee for 5 years. I stopped being a barista a bunch of months ago. I had to ultimately leave the industry because I guess I was tired of retail. Not tired of being a barista. I still loved being a barista. I loved making drinks. I loved getting the line out. I loved the camaraderie with my fellow coworkers. But I left it behind for something more stable, something more consistent. For a while now, I've just had coffee on my mind about how to get back into it without being employed as a barista again. The first way I thought about getting back into coffee was finally upgrading my grinder situation, but I still couldn't get coffee out of my head, and I needed to up the level even further. So how could I do that without becoming a barista again? Well, I mean, one of the ways is getting an espresso machine, but I had already gone that route, and if I really wanted to get an espresso machine, it would be the gusto. So that really wasn't in the scheme of things of where we are. So the next best thing was roasting. There's home roasting machines. Fast forward a bunch of weeks later, and I have a Hottop roaster. This is specifically the Hottop KN8828B2K Plus, the newest model, which comes with the upgraded panel so that you can do all your manual controls on your computer through software called Artisan, which is a free software. It works. It's a roast profiling software. This is a heavy video for anybody who doesn't know anything about coffee. There's a lot to explain here, a lot to unpack, but I guess I can do that as time progresses. I can get into all the little nuances of that. I have coffee and it's awesome, and a lot of it it tastes really bad right now because I'm still learning the machine. I'm still learning how to roast coffee. But let me get into the parts and pieces of the 2K Plus edition. So at first glance, I guess I should swap the camera around. So this is the Hottop 2K Plus. It's kind of, as you can see, decently sized. It's a lot smaller than I thought, which is one of the reasons why I went with this. The big reason why I went with this was because it resembles like a professional roaster. This is the cooling tray here where the beans get ejected into after they're roasted, and it has this rotating arm that spins through the beans, and there's a fan in here that blows air so the beans can get cool relatively quickly, and all I have to do is put them through the sifter to get rid of the chaff, which is the skin on the outside of the bean that builds up after they're roasted. On the outside, we have this roaster panel, which you can use without a computer. It has all your buttons here. It has the time, it has the temperature, it has the heat control and the fan control, on-off switch, eject button, and you can save roast profiles. So we have the front of the Hottop. This is the viewing window, so that you can see your beans, see when they're going through their different phases. This knob unscrews very easily. Make sure you always do this when your roaster, any roaster, is sufficiently cooled down. So this comes out here, and voila, in there you have your drum. It spins because the idea is that you don't want your coffee beans to sit on a hot surface for too long, so that spinning action keeps them consistently moving, and then the heat will go through the bean at a more even rate. This can all come out. I'm not going to do that now because we're just focused on the outside of the bean. This right here in the front pulls right out. This is the chaff tray where I was talking about the bean stuff, where the outside of the bean comes out. It falls right into here. You have to empty that after every roast, and pretty much after every roast I open up this lid with mitts, or if it's cooled down I can just take it off, and I check the inside of the drum for any stuck beans. This is also, by the way, an electrical machine, so it plugs just right into the wall unit It also comes with its USB cord. This plugs in right into the back of the machine, and this plugs into your computer. So I have this set up here where I have my computer ready to go. That fork is for checking and pulling out any beans that get stuck in the drum. We have a filter that pulls right out, and this collects a lot of the smoke that builds up. I've been swapping every other roast so that it's 2 filters so that they don't get dirty as quickly. Up here we have this filter, which gets changed out every 100 roasts or so, I've read. Here is just the bean chute. This is where the beans go into. The bean capacity for this machine is 250 to 300 grams. Every roaster will tell you they recommend under capacity, filling under capacity. So I've been doing about 200 grams worth of beans. So that's the inside of the drum there. Those are all the parts and pieces of the outside of the Hottop. Of course, it's not everything, neither is any of it specific to roasting. So this is where I keep all the coffee doodads. These are bags. These are all the filters, so I'm swapping between 2 right now. It's recommended that the back filter gets changed every 10 to 30 rows, and the top filter gets changed every 100 rows. And I have a bunch of like pamphlets, is that what it's called? Material here. I have my roast notes here. And then down here, because it's the coolest spot in the place, I have my green beans. Green beans, green coffee. So mostly I'm getting from Sweet Maria's. I don't think that's enough for one batch. So what do you do when you have like this amount of green beans left? And that's it. There's all kinds of other things too, like cleaning and maintenance you have to go through. Oh, and if you saw my other video too, you saw me using this flashlight. I probably should get some better other system to view the beans. Looking at the beans is super important because you have to see when they're going through their phases and mark that and use it for future notes. So it's helpful to have a lot of light in that viewing window because it's kind of dark. And also the viewing window gets pretty dirty, so you have to clean that thing out, which is why I had the top off. Did I have the top off? No, I didn't. I had the top off earlier after I roasted, and I cleaned it out. I'm referring to the manual a lot. I'm referring to some roast books, and I'm devouring roasting videos. That's it for this video. Tell me what you think. If you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer them. I know this video is a lot for people who don't really know a lot about coffee. So I guess I can do more explaining, or this is just like a video you can. But look, why does the watch do that? It's almost on the crook of my, I prefer the watch to be like that. Maybe I'm picky. Is anybody else picky about their watches? But that strap thing is really bugging me. Anyway, tell me your thoughts. Do you like coffee? That's it.